Okay, guys, let's see if I can defeat Levy Rozman, aka GothamChess. Unfortunately, I cannot play him over the board in person, but I can play the Levy bot on chess.com, which is, I think, a close experience. So let's see what he does. Okay, d4, d4. He plays d4. I play, of course, the King's Indian defense. e4. Wow, this is a gambit. I think I should take it. I've never seen it, actually. Okay, he is disrespecting me. Queen d3. Let me think. Of course, d5 is the move, which is the most logical, I think. I have no idea. I should check out this gambit because this is something new for me. Okay, d5 looks logical. d5 looks logical. Knight c3 now. Okay, I guess I have to trade. It's a sensible decision. I'm up a pawn after all. Okay, let me trade. Does he take with the queen? With the pawn? Wow, it's interesting. Well, probably he has some counterplay. He can put pressure down the b file, but he has spoiled his pawn structure. This is not something that I would have gone for. But then again, I'm not an international master. I'm not the best chess content creator ever. Well, maybe he's not the best ever, but at least he's the most popular. b6 is an idea, I think, with bishop a6, putting pressure there. I don't know what he does. He probably wants to go for c4. And then actually b6 makes a lot of sense. So b6, my threat is bishop here. So if I go bishop b6, he goes queen b5 check maybe. But then I can just go c6, for example, kick him. And he'll probably drop back. And then I have no bishop a6 because both the bishop and the queen are taking this square, and I feel stupid. So maybe this is why b6, queen b5, I'll have to go bishop d7, but then he takes the pawn, so it's not good. b6, take check here. I can exchange the queens. Maybe it's a good solution, actually. Okay, let's do it. But actually he has this, which could be unpleasant. Okay, b6, bishop here, bishop here. He'll have to drop back, for example, to d2. I take the f1 knight. He takes it with the king. Yeah, I think it's not that bad. Okay, b6. Let's go. Let's go! Another move by the queen. I really don't like it, actually, by him. I don't believe in this. This cannot be good. He has made how many? Queen d3. Queen d3, 2 moves with the queen. This looks like a bad version of Scandinavian with white. And he has spoiled his pawn structure. I think I actually stand some chance to win this game. Of course I'm worse than Levy, but if he keeps playing like this, I can win it. But probably I'll blunder something. Okay, let's see. He wants to go here and disallow me from castling because of this. Or at least make it a challenge for me to castle. So I think I'll go e6. It's logical. It cannot be a bad move. And now I'll probably develop. e7 is a bit more passive than d6, so maybe d6 is better. What will he do now? Bishop d3. And now I can go bishop a6 to trade this bishop once it's moved one square already. This looks kind of logical. My knight will be offside once it takes. But wow, what is this man doing? Levy, what are you doing? Is it a good move? So he wants to sack, of course, and check me, but then I'll just block. Is there some crazy thing that I'm not seeing? Takes, and the queens will be exchanged, so it's nothing too crazy. Well, maybe if I take, he wants to take with the pawn, probably, to a little bit straighten up the pawns, but still then the d3 pawn will be weak. So I'm not really impressed. Not really impressed by this. I think I can just trade and go c5 or castle. c5 looks good. He's not threatening anything. Or maybe I should just finish development and go for this. also looks logical. Okay, anyway, let me trade. Oh, he takes with the queen. Even more interesting. Now he wants to take here. So of course I cannot castle. That will be mate in one. Very tragic. What I can do is kick him with h6. And he'll probably have to drop back because knight h7 doesn't look right. It looks very weird. The knight will be trapped there after like f5, something like this. So h6, just kick him. Let's do it. Oh, he could have actually sacked here and checked me from g6, but I don't think it's anything. I just go here. So yeah, but he didn't do this. Actually, the best way to combat this sack, now that I realize his knight was here, and if he takes here, queen e7 is good to pin him, and then take with the queen, and I'm not losing my castling rights. So this is what was best for me. Otherwise, yeah, knight e6 would have been a good idea. Okay, probably I should castle. This is never a bad idea, I guess. And probably he will try to destroy me somehow. Oh, he castles. Okay, so I thought he'll go for some h4, knight g5 again with the rook on h-file, but he just castles. Okay, then I'm not afraid at all. I have an extra pawn and a great position. I should just strike him with c5, I guess. This makes sense. And then activate my knight and I'm fine. c4, wow. So he's getting confrontational. Well, he has to, otherwise it's not a good position for him. Okay, I can go knight c6. Takes, and I have this isolated pawn on d5. Maybe it's not the most precise way to play this. Maybe I can take first and then go knight here and rook here. But maybe I don't have to take. I don't know. Let me think. I can take it here first. He'll probably take by knight, but I don't want him to activate his knight. It's not something that I would want him to do. Okay, let's play for piece activity. I don't care about the isolated pawn. Yes, it will be isolated. Okay, he's not resolving the tension just yet. He wants to preserve his pawn here as well. Okay, I can take here and do something like e5, but this doesn't look right. Frankly, I can go here, also a move, but then this pawn will be hanging at the end after takes, and if my queen is on f6, then queen d5. So this I should look out for. I can actually take and then take here, and he will be left with an isolated pawn, which is maybe good, but then he has this. So we both will be left with an isolated pawn. Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, he doesn't take here, he takes back here. So my plan was to take on c4, and I'll stick to my plan, probably. So I'm up a pawn, and I'm still much better. So Levy somehow didn't want to play a normal opening, gave up a pawn for, well, not nothing, but I don't see much compensation here. So one move here is rook to c8. Another move is queen d7. And also I can reroute to d5. Also looks strong. But if I go here, he'll go here, and I don't like it. His knight on e5 doesn't look... it doesn't look like a nice idea. I definitely want to put my rook on the c file, so rook c8 is all right. Okay, let's see what he does. Okay, first of all, I have this move now. I can exchange some pieces, because this move will double attack the queen. And if he takes the knight, I take the queen, so this is not good for him. So he will have to drop back, like to e2 probably. And then I can exchange the knights. And then I'm just up a pawn with no counterplay for him. I go something like rook c2. I see the comment made by Levy. I have no idea how I'll get back into this game, but I'll find a way. Maybe he will. Maybe he will. I think exchanging the pieces here is a good strategy for me. So let us do this. Let's try this. Knight e5. Looks like a good move. Queen b3. Okay, I take. He'll probably take by the queen. And now rook c2 was the move I was intending to make. Now I don't believe I'm going to lose this game. Probably he'll find a way to draw it, but if I lose it, I'll be disappointed in myself. I shouldn't lose this even to a master. He doesn't have enough pieces to checkmate me, and I'm just up a pawn. So the question is whether I will be able to remain up a pawn, to retain this pawn. If rook here, then he has first to guard the bishop, so maybe queen d3, something like this. But then I go here. And he has rook c1, but then I have rook f to c8. We can trade many times, and I guess I have a good position. Let's do this. Queen d3, queen c8 was the move I was thinking of. Queen c8 is good. Queen c7, I mean. It's also taking this pawn. Okay, now he goes for complications. He gives up this pawn. He wants to create some chaos on the board. Maybe it's a good decision, actually. So I can take this pawn, or I can take this pawn. Both look promising. I don't know, I'm spoiled for choice here. I can take this pawn, then he'll go something like, well, if he takes, then on d5, then I'll take on h2, and I'm fine. I'm happy about this. But he can go something like h3 or g3, and then my pawn is hanging. Maybe he'll win it back, but I don't really believe in this. Okay, I can of course take on h2 and then go rook to d8. This is one of the options. But then he probably wants to catch my bishop after g3, but then I have rook d5, taking the queen, and if he goes to, for example, f3 to protect against rook h5, what do I have? But I can take this bishop, so why shouldn't I do this again? I'm not very sure what am I missing here. Okay, let me go for these complications. Maybe I'll lose this game now. It will be very stupid. So rook's here. What does he want to do? I don't get it. Maybe rook c1 takes. Maybe this is not good. Maybe rook c1 is actually good. But of course I can do something like bishop here, or taken. Taken is also fine, I think. Rook c1 takes. Come on, Greg. You can take rook c1 and go here, because this bishop will be hanging at the end. So if you trade everything, this bishop is hanging. Yeah, I guess it's all fine. But what if he goes g3 here? This is what could be unpleasant. G3, after rook d8, there is rook c1, and then rook here doesn't look that good. So yeah, maybe I misplayed it. Maybe I shouldn't have taken this h2 pawn. This was like poisoned pawn. But now I'm up 2 pawns, and I have the luxury of doing something creative. Okay, bishop e5 looks like kind of a safe move. If he goes rook here, I go rook here. Yes, I'll have a weakness on e6, but who doesn't have weaknesses? Even Achilles had his Achilles heel. So if he goes to e1, this is interesting, because I can take here, I guess, and go here, skewering him. But then he has a rook c1. And at the end of the day, I'm down in exchange. So that could get unpleasant. So this is why, after rook e1, I can go... Well, he's not threatening anything, is he? He is. He's threatening rook e5, queen e5, queen takes c2. My queen is overloaded. It's guarding 2 pieces. Which is why, after rook e1, I will have to... maybe just take this. Maybe a symbol like that. Let's do it. Probably I'm not, like I'm missing something. Rook c1. Okay. This I'm not too like too afraid of, because I can take, for example, first of all, and go like queen d7 maybe. Yeah, and this pawn is up for grabs. I'm not sure if he can protect it. Or what else can I do? Well, this looks good enough, but maybe I can also go rook c8 and trade everything and be up 2 pawns. The problem is, does he have some tricks? Like if he takes here, I take here. Aha! Wow, I have the sacrifice. I have the queen sack here. And this is mate because my bishop is restricting the king. Wow! He will have to like block with the queen, and I'll take the queen, and it's checkmate. So again, just look at this variation. Rook fc8, and if he takes, for example, the pawn, I take here, he takes with the rook, and I sacrifice my queen. He takes with the bishop, I take with the rook. This is check, and the king has no squares, no room to go. So yeah, maybe this is what he missed. I hope that I'm not missing anything. Otherwise, if I go here, he takes, I take, takes. It's just a winning endgame. Rook and bishop versus rook and bishop, but with a bunch of extra pawns. Well, maybe he has some rook e1 ideas to put pressure here, but I can take here. And if he takes on e5, I take on d5 with my rook. This is definitely winning. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, he does it. He really does it. What if I do this? Am I missing something? Takes. Ah, he can take with check. God. He can take with check. That would have been so beautiful. So he can take with check. Because if he takes here, I take here, he can take with check. If I go here, actually he doesn't have checks. Because queen e3, a3 is controlled by my queen, queen d6 is controlled by the bishop. So maybe this still works. So let me think. Rook takes. So he can first take here, doesn't matter. I go here. Ah, this does matter, because then he has this. But it doesn't matter. I go here. I go back and I'm up a rook. So this doesn't work for him. So after taking, he has to take with the bishop first. And then I take with the queen. And he cannot take my queen, because this is checkmate, as I already demonstrated. So he will have to do something else, such as, for example, take here. But then I go here. He has no checks. d6 is controlled by my bishop. a3 is controlled by my queen. Maybe he has some Zwischenzug, some intermediate move. Maybe after takes, and king f8, he has some move like f4. I don't know. It doesn't look realistic. I can just take. Wow. Okay, I should try it. I think it's what I should try. Maybe it's stupid. Okay, but I have to try it. I have to try this craziness. I go here now. And I sack the queen. Wow. Ah, he doesn't accept it, of course. But he doesn't have any threats. I'm up a bishop now. I can go here, for example, and he should be losing. He should be losing because I'm up a full bishop. I need to concentrate now. This is a very important moment. To beat Levy is a good result. Would be a very good result for me. Okay, I don't have to move the queen, first of all. He's not threatening taking because this is checkmate. So maybe I can just do some quiet move. But I don't think I have any good quiet moves. Okay, if I go here, I'm threatening a checkmate, but he can check me first. I can block. Then he can check me there. I can take here. He can take here. This could get risky, actually. But then I have rook c7, and his queen is hanging, and checkmate on h2. But the queen is also hanging, so maybe this works for me. Maybe this is all right. This is very intense. Very, very intense. Queen f4. What about g3? g3 looks like a move. And if queen f2, queen a3, check, rook here. Oh, maybe I don't go queen f2 after g3. Maybe I take on f7. This is a safer move. I think, yes, this is much safer. Okay, queen f2 should be sufficient to win this game. Queen f4, I mean. Okay, he checks me. Logical. I block, right? Yes, I block. I block, he check, he attack, he protect, and I should be okay. Maybe I'm not. I think I should be okay here. Rook c5. Rook d8 screams to be made. Okay, queen h3. Interesting. An interesting move. So already this looks like admitting defeat, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Rook c1. Rook c1 is the move that I want to make here, to exchange the trade of the rooks. And he actually doesn't have any checks. Queen c8 because fails to rook takes c8, and rook d8 doesn't work because he's pinned. His rook is pinned. So rook c1 looks like a winning move to me, because if I exchange, he'll be checkmated maybe even. So let's do this. Let's do it. Ah! I almost blundered. Thankfully, I have rook c5, but otherwise this would be very unpleasant. But maybe actually I don't have to go rook c5 because I'm threatening mate. So maybe actually king takes f7 also works. But yeah, but this was stressful. Let's calculate. Or as Levy's coach says, let's calculate. I like his accent. It's it's interesting in a good way. So king f7, he has a bunch of checks, unfortunately, but this, sorry, almost made the wrong move. So if king f7, queen a7 check, I can drop the rook back to c7. Do I want to do this? Not sure. Maybe king f7. So the idea is that he cannot take on c1 because this is a checkmate, obviously. So he will have to do everything with a check, and his rook is stuck because it's pinned. So he can only check me with a queen. So I take, he can check me with a queen, and I can just, for example, block. Right? I think this is true. Yeah, I think this is true. So I think this is what I should do. I guess I should do this. So does he have any other ideas? Queen b3, for example. Queen b3, I can go king back to f8. And if queen a3, king to g8. And if king b3 back, king h8, and there are no more checks. Right. Guess this is so. Okay. Okay, let's do it. Queen b3, okay. Go here, right? Should be easy. I hope I'm correct. Okay. Okay, and now king g8. And now king h8. This is what I calculated. And no more checks. There are no more checks. Yes, now I can finally trade the rooks. Or I can check him, actually, which is better, maybe, or not. Check. Maybe I can take here with a check. And then take here. But he has this check on d8. I go here, and he goes here. But I go here. And if he checks me, I block. Yeah, it looks kind of good. Looks pretty good. Yeah. Life is good. Queen e4, well, I don't have to. Like, if I can win faster, I should do it faster. So queen d1, queen f2, queen d8, king h7. Again, I should look out for some forks. This is the only thing I should look out for. Queen d3, g6. Queen d7, bishop g7. And I have this nice cover for the king, and I should be winning this game. Okay, let's go! Rook d1 check. I'm up a bishop. And bishops are nice. I mean, on the chessboard. In life, well, it depends on the exact person. Queen f2, right? Queen d8, king h7, queen d3, g6. I'm double checking everything, you know, because sometimes I see ghosts in such positions, and I don't want to see any ghosts. Queen f2 check. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay. He will check me, of course. When you see a check, you better check, as some wise person said. Of course, not king g8, because then queen d5 would be a fork. Horrible. Horrible end for this game. Like, probably still winning, but much more difficult. And now I have this cover for my king, and yes, I should be converting this. I think I should just take here. And then push the h pawn. This is the way to win this. Take here, he'll take here. I can win this pawn with checks. So take on a2 and then win the game. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. He has some, actually, without this pawn, if we remove this pawn from the board, the a2 pawn, he would have some stalemating ideas. For example, here he could have taken on g7, I take, and this is stalemate because his king has no legal moves, but he has the a pawn, so there is no stalemate. So, okay, now let's proceed with the plan that I indicated earlier. Or maybe I can actually checkmate him even. Maybe I can even checkmate him. So queen here, for example. If he goes here, probably there is some checkmate with bishop e5, but he can go to g2. So maybe there is no checkmate. Here, here. I think there is some nice idea that I can implement. I can check him here. He cannot go to f2 because bishop d4 will be a fork, so he has to go to g2. Then I go queen e2 check. Or queen... whatever. I just win the pawn. I don't have to calculate. I just win the pawn and I win the game. This is what I need. This is what the doctor ordered, as they say. Oh, he even does this, but this is like horribly, hopelessly lost. Yeah. Okay, whatever. I'll trade the queens. I'll trade the queens, whatever. And I'll check him. And this is absolutely winning. I thought I have to win the queen endgame, but this is also fine with me. I just push the pawns, and his pawn is never going through because my bishop is controlling the queen in square. So I just push the pawns. This is easy. Oh man, this is nice. Check. If he goes here, then bishop f2 would have been a checkmate, a nice one. But he doesn't go for this. Now I'm just coming closer with my king. King f4 probably is cleaner. And now, yeah, it's important to not go king g3 because then a7 and bishop a7 is a stalemate. Again, tricks, dirty tricks. So this is why I go king f3. Yeah, and now I go g3. If he goes here, then this is forced queening. and a checkmate after king h3 and queen g3. So, and if he goes here, I can also go here. And if he goes a7, I just take, and there is no stalemate. So, yep, let's do it. Will he resign? He's not resigning the game. This is weird. Weird. g2. Will he try a7? Yes, he will. Where is my bishop? My bishop is on d4. I could make a knight and checkmate him with a bishop and a knight, but I don't have the patience to do this. Okay, let's just make the rook, because Levy likes this piece. And there is checkmate in 2 in this position. I go bishop e3, cutting him his escape route, and once he goes here, this is checkmate. So let's implement this. Whoop! I beat GothamChess. This was not clickbait. You see the screen? Really? I did it. I didn't expect. I expected this video to be like 3 games long. All 3 I lose, and I make good content, but I'm dejected. That's what I expected, and I didn't expect that I could beat Levy. Let's just check out the game review. Okay, so I played at 89.8% accuracy, and my game rating is 2750 according to the chess.com's review. Wow. Okay, Levy played at 79.8, which is decent, but not enough. Today I was in good shape. Did you like the game? Write it in the comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.